Welcome back students. This is the second part of the video for lesson number 11, cell structure and microorganisms. Students, in the previous video you learned about cell structure and the difference between plant cell and animal cell. In this video we shall learn about microorganisms. So let's start. We have learned that there are countless living organisms on the earth. Of these, the organisms which cannot be seen with our eyes but can only be observed under a microscope are called microorganisms. Now let's see about the occurrence of microorganisms. Microorganisms are present all around us in the air, water, soil, food, sewage, garbage, as well as in the bodies of plants and animals, including humans. Some microorganisms are solitary, that is, they live singly. Example, amoeba, paramecium, whereas some live in colonies. Some microorganisms live on the remains of dead plants and animals. Nature of microorganisms. Some microorganisms, like the fungus that grows on bread or strands of algae in ponds, are multicellular. However, most microorganisms such as bacteria and viruses are unicellular. They have a somewhat different cellular structure. They do not have the membrane-bound organelles found in eukaryotic cells. The plasma membrane, cytoplasm and nucleode are their only components. Such cells are called prokaryotic cells. Now both the diagrams are shown on the screen of eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cell. You have to draw it properly in your classwork. Growth of microorganisms. Each microorganism needs a specific environment for growth and reproduction. Many microbes need oxygen for their growth, whereas some microbes can grow without oxygen. Some microorganisms survive even in extreme and adverse conditions like the ocean floor, ice in polar regions, hot water springs, etc. During adverse conditions, microorganisms form a thick covering around themselves and stop their life processes. On return of favorable conditions, they come out of the protective covering and continue their life processes. According to shape and life processes, microorganisms are classified as algae, fungi, protozoa, bacteria, and viruses. Microorganisms are of two types, useful and harmful. Firstly, we learn about useful microorganisms. And students, on page number 76, try this section. A simple activity is given which you can try at home to prove about useful microorganisms. Now some microorganisms carry out decomposing of waste and convert it into fertilizers. Farm waste, human excreta, wet garbage, etc. is used in a biogas plant to produce biogas and fertilizer with the help of microbes. Microbes thus keep the environment clean by decomposition process. Microorganisms in the soil and the root nodules of leguminous plants convert atmospheric nitrogen into its compounds. Due to them, soil fertility increases and the protein content of the pulses also increase. Microbes produce milk products like curds, butter, buttermilk, cheese, paneer, etc. from the milk. Processes like tanning of skin, production of ropes and strings from agave are done with the help of microbes. With the help of process of bacterial fermentation, alcohol from grains and fruits, bread from flour, as well as production of acetic acid, citric acid, lactic acid, vitamin, antibiotics, etc. are produced. Microbes are used in removing a layer of oil slick floating in ocean or lake. Such oil slicks are fallen due to accidental spillage. So these are all the useful things of microorganisms. So here we see that the microorganisms are useful. Fermentation. Fermentation is the chemical process of conversion of a carbon compound into its another type by the action of microorganisms. During the process of fermentation, heat, some gases and carbon dioxide are evolved. In the process of fermentation, the volume of material rises. Thus, the reaction is used in the production of various common foodstuffs. Example, the flour is fermented to produce bread. In batter of idli and dosa, dough, fruit juices, etc., microbial process is used. This enables production of new compounds as the microbes grow. I am sure you all must have seen this process at your home when your mother prepares idli. Antibiotics and vaccines. Sometimes, when you are ill, the doctor prescribes capsules or injections of medicines like penicillin. These types of medicines destroy the pathogens and retard their growth. They are called antibiotics. Antibiotics are produced with the help of specific microbes. Diseases like tuberculosis, typhoid, cholera, etc., which were previously considered incurable, have now come under control because of antibiotics. Domestic animals too can be protected from various diseases by mixing antibiotics with their food. Plant diseases can also be controlled with the help of antibiotics. A vaccine is produced in a laboratory with the help of microbes that gives immunity against a particular disease. If we have been vaccinated against any disease, our immunity, that is resistance to that disease, increases so that the possibility of contracting that disease is greatly reduced. Always remember, though antibiotics are useful for curing certain diseases, they can be harmful if used without consulting a doctor. Hence, a course of antibiotics should be completed strictly following the doctor's prescription. In fact, we should not take any medicines on our own to treat ailments like body aches, headaches, common colds, etc., because it could be dangerous for our health. Harmful microorganisms. As I told you before, that some microorganisms are harmful. They create problems to our body. Like for example, if sweet meat is not consumed in time, it becomes rotten and hence cannot be eaten. The microbes make the sweetmeats bad. The bread usually shown growth of fungus over it if kept just like that in a lunch box. And when some microbes grow in the food, they produce toxic compound called exterotoxins. This toxin makes the food poisonous. If such spoiled food is consumed, it results into vomiting and loose motions. A round layer of white scum or black particles on the food is an indication of fungal growth. It grows quickly on the moist and stale food. So we should always take care of our food, eat fresh and properly covered food, always drink clean and boiled water, cover your mouth and nose when you cough or sneeze, keep surrounding clean by not allowing garbage and water to accumulate around your house. Pathogens, disease producing microorganisms. Pathogens may be present in water bodies contaminated with sewage and dirt from the surroundings, in food left uncovered in unhygienic conditions with houseflies sitting on it, etc. If such contaminated food or water is consumed, we may fall ill with diseases of the alimentary canal like amoebiasis, typhoid, cholera, hepatitis, gastro, etc. Pathogens are released in the air when a person having an infection of the respiratory tract sneezes or coughs. A healthy person may get infected with such pathogens on breathing in the same air and contract diseases like common cold, cough, diphtheria, pneumonia, tuberculosis, etc. Mosquitoes reproduce in places like heaps of garbage, drains, stagnant water, etc. Microbes that cause diseases like malaria, dengue, elephantiasis, yellow fever, chikungunya, etc. gain entry into the human body through the bite of a female mosquito. So we should always keep our surrounding clean. We should also see to it that if the water tank and the water in it is clean, are the water tanks and toilets in the school clean, in the water that accumulates in pots, tires, cans, etc. around house drained properly, are the water storage containers cleaned regularly, If certain small things, if we are careful about it, then we can prevent ourselves from this disease. Students, you have to write the table shown on the screen in which types of pathogen, its description and the disease caused by it is given. So you have to write it properly in your classwork. So students, in this way we have completed the lesson cell structure and microorganisms. For the complete lesson, you have to watch both the videos part 1 and part 2. And you have to complete the exercise given in your textbook on page number 80 properly in your classwork. And also related activities, you have to complete it in your science activity book. Till then, take care and study well.